What's up, YouTube? So I wanted to take a second today, follow along the same lines as my last video, and show you another rig that I recently purchased that I absolutely love. So anyway, what you're looking at here is the original S.O.E 12 gauge micro rig. When I first saw a video of this rig, I instantly started having all kinds of thoughts of how I could use this rig for all kinds of different purposes, and you know, it really impressed me that the rig is such a small size, but it can do so much. So I felt I had to get it, bought it, and now I want to show it to you guys. So anyway, let's get right into it. First of all, you might have seen on one of my other videos, I did a video on a 12 gauge pull-out pouch. Basically, that's the same thing as what this is, except instead of being MOLLE compatible to use anywhere you have MOLLE gear, these ones are just fixed to this panel. So basically, what you have here is, you know, a stiff, firm card with elastic retention. It holds 6 shells. When you use all 6 shells, this velcros off. It's retained via a buckle right here. Inside the pouch, you have another card that's fastened to a strap inside, and then that just comes down over the top and gives you another 6 rounds to use. So anyway, on this rig, you have 2 of these 12 gauge pull-out pouches. You know, side by side for a total of 24 rounds. The other half of this rig consists of a 6x6, basically like a utility pouch, just open on the inside. It has a large loop field of Velcro across the back of the inside of the pouch, so that if you wanted to attach any kind of elastic organizational panel or even like a universal holster, you could do that. So anyway, on the lid of the pouch, there's also this 3-inch strip of loop field Velcro, and what I decided, you know, I mean, you could use this for anything from name tapes and morale patches to, you know, one of these bad boys. This is what I decided to use it for. This is also by original S.O.E. This is called the 12 gauge card, and basically it's just a firm piece of hook Velcro with a strap on it, and then on the other side it's got elastic retention for 6 shells. So I chose a black one for this because I wanted to be able to color code these shells in case I wanted to run something like you know, slugs in here and maybe buckshot over here. With a quick glance, you could just recognize what shells you're pulling from. So that's why I did that. Anyway, on the bottom here of the utility pouch, you see it's got 2 elastic keepers. Now, I've heard from other videos that this might be originally intended for something like a you know, a small smoke grenade or something like that. But at the same time, what I decided to use it for was a flashlight, and it works perfectly. This is a standard size, you know, Surefire 6P LED, and you can see it fits nice and tight in there. It's not going to go anywhere unless I want it to, but because it's elastic, if I need to rip it out, I can easily rip it out, no problem, and it comes straight out. So there's also an admin pouch that runs the entire length of this kit, and I'll get into that in a second, but I want to go over the basic features of the rig before I show you exactly what I've done or decided to do with it. So anyway, here what you have is the straps that come with it. They're pretty pliable and very lightweight, which matches the rig perfectly. This thing is designed as a tiny little rig that you can just grab and throw on, and these straps facilitate that perfectly. They run up like suspenders over your shoulders, crisscross in the back, and then reattach on the sides. And the one thing about these straps that makes them absolutely awesome, unlike others I've seen where it might be tacked on one side and then a buckle on the other, this system employs Fastech style buckles at every single attachment point for the straps. So if you were in an emergency and needed to get out of this kit in a big hurry, you know, trapped in a vehicle or something like that and needed to get away from it, you have one of 6 options of ways to get out of it. So it makes it extremely easy to, you know, rip it off in any way you might need. And so I really like that. It just an added extra detail that just makes it extra good. So anyway, let me get the straps off real quick so that it's easier to manipulate this rig while I show you all the little odds and ends of what I've specifically done to it and what I've found that you can do to it. All right, so like I said, when I got it, my mind instantly started going crazy. Here's what I came up with in terms of how I want to run it. First of all, like I mentioned, 24 shot of whatever you choose. I would say if I was going hard with this thing, a double up buckshot 24 is quite a bit of that, can do some major damage. On the color-coded panel, I would run slugs. Well, you can run anything you want, but I'm just explaining what I would do in this situation. Another thing you can do with this, just so you know, is you could also run these you know, vertically like that and actually get another two sets on here. So you could get a total of, you know, 12 instead of 6 on the pouch if you wanted, but I just tend to run it like this because they're easy to grab out for long range shots or whatever. I got my tactical flashlight here. On the side, there's some PALS webbing that's just attached to this utility pouch. What I did was I attached one of the US Grunt Gear open lid pistol mag pouches. The reason for this is because I shoot pistols right-handed. I'm actually right-handed, but I shoot long guns left-handed. So when I'm using the pistol, I figured that I would need a speed reload for the pistol, and being that this pouch was on my left hand, it was a perfect position to place a mag pouch like this. Now, if I'm just roaming around and not needing the gun or the magazine for a high-speed situation, using the lid for retention is much better because it's just all in all keeping the mag in. I'm not worrying about it, not thinking about it at all. But if I did get into a situation where I knew I was going to be needing a quick primary reload, I could just take this lid, tack it to itself and fold it back like so, and then rock the magazine right inside. Now I've got quick access to a magazine as a primary reload, and you see this lid fits nice and flush. It's not sticking out, it's not flapping in the wind, nothing. So this pouch works perfectly for a primary reload. Inside the utility pouch, I decided to opt for using a Maxpedition universal holster and placing my 4-inch service model XD40 pistol. You can see this is empty, but a regular size service pistol fits nice and clean inside here. You can see the universal holster tacks to the Velcro inside and creates a nice area for concealed carrying a pistol. Perfect when you're roaming through areas where you don't necessarily, well, I mean, it's pretty obvious that you're packing some heat, but don't necessarily want everybody knowing you have a pistol on you. Nice and neat in there. In the back, I wanted to get some organization. There's a nice loop field that fits all the way across here, so I figured I would need some kind of elastic retention panel. I looked around, and what I found was something called the Medium Accessory Dapper from Blue Force Gear. Basically what it is, it's about a 10-inch long panel, about 2 inches wide, and it has 6 evenly spaced elastic loops in it, so you can put normal size stuff like magazine size stuff in it. Definitely if you're looking to pack magazines, I would buy the medium. They also have a small and a large, but this one worked out perfectly, so this is the one I would recommend. Anyway, when you're in a gunfight, 2 magazines just ain't gonna cut it. So I first decided on this side to add an extra 3 magazines to my setup by using these first 3 loops. So three XD magazines fit perfectly right here. Here I left an open loop in case I needed to, in case I had something I needed to throw in there. You could put a mini Sharpie in there for marking targets, whatever you might need to do. So open loop there. Here, of course, never leave home without it, the Leatherman Mutt. Definitely always try to keep a multi-tool on my gear, and that's a perfect place to stash a multi-tool. So I got my Mutt right there. And then last but not least, this is a Benchmade Adamus folder, room for a giant folding knife. So that's that. And then when you close this all up, it seals nice and neat, nothing sticking out, nothing holding it open, just absolutely perfect setup for this pouch. So I'm totally stoked on that. Now, as far as the sizing of this kit, just so you know, with everything it's holding, everything I've described here, the size in width overall is about 14.5 inches, and the size in height, including the flashlight, is about 8 inches. The standard panel itself is about 13, and the height is about 7. So that's what's up with that. Now let me show you a couple other things that I found that you can do with this. First of all, let's say that you don't want to run a pistol, or let's say that you have a gun belt on and you have the ability to run the pistol on the gun belt. So let's just put that over there. In that case, you won't need this universal holster, so we can get rid of that. If you want to go fully shotgun heavy on this rig, still of course keeping the magazines, but with the ability to run even more shells, here's a full box of 25 shells, and this fits nice and neat inside the pocket, and it still closes up all the way. So in this case, with that setup, you're running 55 shotgun shells on a 13x7 piece of kit that's sitting on your stomach. Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, how many rounds can you possibly fit on something this small? Anyway, if that's not your thing, let's say that you're going out and you're gonna have an AR with you, and you want to be able to keep some magazines for your AR. Again, perfect sizing, as you can imagine. Here's 2 PMags, and here's 2 more PMags. There's 4 PMags sitting nice and neat in there. The lid will still close, and then you can just take this and run it on the lower Velcro, no problem. So that's 4 PMags and 30 shotgun rounds, just like that. Now, if you need even more rifle mags, something you can do is you can pull these cards off, and they're attached by buckles, so you can actually completely remove these cards if you don't need them. Pull the inside cards to the outside, like such, and then go ahead and pack a couple more rifle mags as primary reloads, especially for me because I shoot long guns left-handed. These are in the perfect spot, like a chest rig, for primary reloads for me. So 2 extra mags. Now you've got the ability, basically now you've got 18 shotgun and 6 PMags in the front of your panel. So that's just another way you can do it. All in all, another thing I will say about PMags before I get off this topic is if you're using Ranger plates on the PMags like I generally do, this pouch will not be able to close over the top of them. So if you're using PMags, you might want to take this lid and tuck it into the pouch. If you're using Ranger plates, you might want to take the lid, tuck it into the pouch, and then just leave it open like this with four mags in there. So anyway, another thing I will say about this utility pouch is one thing I've heard is that what it was originally designed for was for putting something like an IFAK inside, first aid, and then, you know, there's still room on the side for another smoke grenade. That's another thing you can do. I've also seen another person on YouTube who took a regular you know, military canteen and was able to fit that whole thing right inside there as well. All in all, with the utility pouch, basically it's open for whatever kind of imagination you might have, or whatever kind of way that you might want to run it. So that's the great thing about that. Anyway, all in all, I've just found this to be a phenomenal setup. So much adaptability and so many ways to get creative with this thing and really just you know, go crazy with it. And being that you can hold all this stuff on a panel that's only 8x14 across your stomach, it is just absolutely awesome. So anyway, give me a second. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it on so you can see how it fits across the midsection. And so give me a second, I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I'm back. Here's what's up with putting it on. You know, you kind of create an X with the top straps like so. You've got 3 holes here. This one will be for your right arm, this one will be for your left arm, and then your head will go right through here. So to show you how that works, reach through like this, reach through like this, and then just drop it over your body like this. And then you've got this strap for coming around the back, and click it right here. So anyway, this is how it rides on the body, just so you can see me shooting long guns left-handed like so. I'm reaching over for my reloads here to throw them into the gun. I have access to my slugs or whatever I might be carrying here, just like so. And then when it comes to the pistol, just pull this up and boom on that. And then primary reload right here for the pistol, and flashlight just like that. All in all, for me personally, this thing is absolutely phenomenal. The positioning of everything is right where I want it, right where I need it, and to be able to carry so much ammo on such a small little thing is absolutely phenomenal. Of course, being that I shoot long guns left-handed, this is the left-handed version. For a right-handed version, the mag pouches would be on this side, and the utility pouch would be over here with the pals on this side to attach whatever you might want to. You'll have to decide based on your shooting style and the way you access all your equipment if you want the left or right-handed version. For me, the left-handed version works perfectly. So anyway, that's what's up with that, man. This is a fantastic rig for anybody looking to carry lots of ammo in a small little package. As the name implies, it is micro, but the capacity is nowhere near micro. This thing can hold tons, and I think I've shown you a lot of different ways to use it. So anyway, definitely stay tuned for more videos in the near future. As long as you guys keep liking them and subscribing to the channel, I'll keep putting them out. And you know, that's about it. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll be back with you soon. Take it easy.